Today we got a story time of this psycho Jellybean Stan that does something really terrible. I'm not going to spoil it. Leave a like in the video to claim your free nothing. And let's call the subscriber Cyrus, because I've gotten that name like 100 times already. Anyways, right, so Cyrus is just chilling in his like math class, you know, and there's this girl, and we're going to call her Astrid because there's a song called Astrid that I've been bumping recently, and it just gets me in a good mood, man. Anyways, right, this girl was not, Cyrus didn't really know this girl that well. He did know that she had a YouTube channel. She's a big fan of like Jellybean and the other PNG tubers, so she decided to make her own, which by the way is totally fine. Like, you're allowed to watch whoever, and I honestly don't care. But anyways, you're not allowed to do what this girl's about to do though. Anyways, right, so one of these days, the teacher decides that, you know, they're going to have a class or not a class project, they're going to have a group project, and by the end of the day, you turn it in, and the project is for a grade. So anyways, the groups are randomized, and Cyrus and Astrid were, you know, randomly assigned to a group together, and Cyrus had never really had any interactions with Astrid before this. So anyways, they get there, and the project is to do this worksheet, and then collectively, and then turn it in at the end of class for a grade. And this was a little bit unfair because, you know, there were definitely kids with different levels of mathematical abilities, and if you got a partner who knew what they were doing, like, you could kind of cruise, but if you both were kind of bad at math, and like, this was a little tough. But anyways, right, unfortunately, Cyrus was not that good. In fact, he might have been the worst in the class, according to him. He sent this to me over Instagram. You can do the same in the description. Anyways, right, so, you know, Cyrus gets there, and Astrid is like, all right, let's start these problems. And, you know, Astrid does the first problem pretty easily, and Cyrus is already stumped. He's like, oh, God. And there's 9 more. And, you know, Astrid's like, all right, well, I don't totally understand the second one. Can you help me out here? And, you know, Cyrus just looks at Astrid like, And, you know, just to make a long story short, they completely fail this assignment. They spend the entire time trying to figure out any of them, and they don't understand it. And towards the end of it, you know, Astrid looks at Cyrus, and she started to get upset. She's like, because of you, I'm going to fail this assignment. Like, I can't believe it. And Cyrus responds like, yo, like, I'm sorry I'm not good at math, but if you were good at math, like, we wouldn't be failing either. This isn't 100% on me. This is a team activity. And to that, Astrid starts to get really angry. And she's like, you should be able to hold your own. I did the first one, no problem. Cyrus responds, yeah, you did the first one, no problem. What about the other 9? Yeah, I didn't do any of them, but you only did 1. And she gets really mad at this. But instead of actually saying anything, she just kind of like quiets down for a second. And let me just say that, you know, at this point, she was probably planning the evil thing that she was about to do, which, you know, is why I even made a video. Like, I wouldn't make a story of someone getting mad at you for not doing well in math. I'd make a story if they do something completely psychotic, right? And at this point, Cyrus has no idea about this girl's YouTube channel, and he's about to find out about it pretty soon, but you'll see. Anyways, the class is over, they turn in the assignment, and they both know that they probably failed it. Anyways, skip forward a little bit, and, you know, Cyrus is home. He's just on his, like, phone watching YouTube or something, and he got a Snapchat from his friend. And he opens up the Snapchat, and it's a message saying, like, yo, did you see, like, Astrid's video on you? And Cyrus is just like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, what video? And his friend replies, oh, so you don't know about our YouTube channel. And basically, right, Astrid had a YouTube channel that, you know, she was one of these, like, PNG tubers or whatever, like, making normal stuff. And Cyrus is like, no, like, what did she post? Did she, like, complain about me being bad at math? And the friend said, like, no, if she did that, that would have been like 100x better than what she posted. So at this point, Cyrus is getting a little worried because he's like, damn, like, what did she actually post? If that's like 100 times worse than that, like, what is she posting here? So all of a sudden, right, he gets a link from his friend, and he clicks into it, and it opens up into the YouTube Shorts, and sure enough, right, this short starts playing. And essentially, right, the short starts playing, and on the short, it says, here is, like, my bully's home address, and do whatever you want with it. Just know that he's been bullying me for years and bullying all my friends, and he's genuinely a terrible person. And that was, like, the end of the short. And the problem is, right, the short started to blow up. Like, it was getting, like, it had like 2,000 views, and like, it looks like more people were getting promoted to it. And Cyrus quickly checks the comments, and like, yeah, some people were saying, oh, this is totally not okay. Like, you can't, even if it is someone who's been harassing you, you can't leak their address online. But some people were like, I hope someone who knows what to do with this thing, like, actually sees it and, like, yeah, you go, girl, or whatever. And so basically, for any of you guys who don't understand, this girl Astrid made a TikTok short basically doxing like this kid, like the subscriber, saying that, you know, he's been a bully to her for the last couple years or whatever, when in fact she was just mad that she failed a math assignment because she got partnered with him. And Cyrus is sitting there. First thing he's thinking of is like, how did she get this information? Like, it's not like, yeah, my name is out there because, like, I go to the same school as you, and you can look at our, like, yeah, I don't know, our school directory or whatever, but how did you get my address? Second of all, why would you lie about me? I mean, he knows why, so then people would actually, like, do something bad with his address, but then also, like, why would you just post the thing in general? So Cyrus quickly texts back his friend. He's like, oh my God, dude, like, this is really messed up. And the dude's like, yeah, it's super messed up. What do you want to do about it? So Cyrus kind of just sits there for a second and is like, damn. Like, this is crazy. I just am bad at math? This is my punishment? Because I'm not good at math? By the way, comment math down below and I'll heart your comment. That'll be secret word of the day today. And he's just sitting there like, wow, like, this is really messed up. So, right, anyways, you know, Cyrus is like, hey, he texts his friend. He's like, hey, do you have, you know, Astrid's, like, Snapchat? And, you know, the friend did, and he gave it to Cyrus, and Cyrus, you know, added this girl. And this girl added him back right away. And so Cyrus texts him like, yo, what the F, bro? Like, what is going on here? And Astrid said, what do you mean? And, you know, Cyrus is like, I know your YouTube channel. And after he sent that, Astrid literally unadded this guy. And Cyrus is sitting there like, dude, this isn't going to fix it. Like, this isn't going to make this problem magically go away. So what Cyrus does, right, is he downloads the video, screen records the video, screenshots, like, basically, he has the receipts at this point. And, you know, he goes back to his friend. He said, hey, like, she just unadded me. Do you have her number? And the friend's like, actually, I do. I have it through a friend. And so sure enough, right, you know, Cyrus, you know, he grabs, you know, his phone and he texts the number. He said, hey, like, this is doxing. This is illegal. I'm going to get you in a ton of trouble if you don't take this down right away. Right, so Astrid doesn't respond to this text, but, you know, he sees that the red receipts are on, so he's kind of thinking to himself, like, are you really going to ignore this too? And he's like, all right then, I guess it looks like I'm going to the principal, and, like, you know, this is enough to really, like, mess her up, right? And he, you know, he goes back to the channel one more time to see, like, if it's still up, to see maybe if he wants to get, I don't know, more screenshots or something, and sure enough, right, the video is down. And it's not just like the video is down. Astrid like privated/deleted her entire channel. Like, or at least the channel was still there, but every other video, because she had been posting kind of consistently, had like 500 subs, right? Every other video was down too. That had nothing to do with it. So obviously Astrid was mad, made this video, and then started freaking out. And the story doesn't end there. The thing is, right, Cyrus, the subscriber, I mean, like me, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I would have pursued it. I don't know if I would have done anything. Because I don't know, I'm just, I don't want to call myself a wimp, but I'm not confrontational, right? But Cyrus, bro, Cyrus is a savage, bro. Like, he decided, like, you know what? I'm still going to turn her in, which honestly, mad respect for doing, because, like, I think that is the right call, if I'm being honest. I don't know if I'd do it, but anyways, right? So the next day, Cyrus goes to the principal, explains the whole thing, and says she did take down the video, but that doesn't matter. The fact that like thousands of people saw it, and the principal's like, yeah, you're right. The fact it was posted at all, even if 0 people saw it, is like bad enough. And then the fact that thousands of people, including potentially like weirdos online, now have your address with bad intent, like, this is super serious. I'll call her in. And Cyrus is just sitting there like, in his head, he's like, you didn't need to do this, Astrid. You didn't need to be punished. I'm just bad at math. If you weren't so salty about that, man, like, I'm sorry. Yeah, so what ended up happening was the school actually, they didn't just suspend Astrid, they full on like expelled her because they thought this was such a huge violation, like leaking the address. And because I think it was mostly because it went mini viral, and like they knew that like bad people with bad intentions had it. So they almost took it as like a threat on his safety, and they're like, we can't be having this here. So yeah, all of that over not being good at math. You hate to see it. Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.